This year for me has been a year of reflection and going inward. So not only was there a global pandemic and everyone felt the effects of 2020, but also I turned 30 and it was the year of my Saturn return completion cycle. With all of that, I feel like I was catapulted into growth and self and spiritual awareness this year. And so I wanted to take this time to do some reflection and share with you all 21 things that I learned this year in 2020. Nothing here is surface level. It's a little bit deeper, and I'm not going to explain each thing, otherwise this video would be so long, but let's get started. I have everything written down because that's the best way for me to organize my thoughts. So the very first thing that I wanted to share that I learned this year is the importance of habits or rituals, specifically morning rituals, routines, or even an evening one. I think that habits lay the foundation for everything. When you start to do things on autopilot, you don't have the time or even the desire to sit and think about whether or not you should do them. And so an example of that is in the mornings, I don't think about whether or not I'm going to work out. It's just part of my morning ritual and it's become a habit. I don't think about having to clean my apartment because I do it every single morning. And so I think that this year really taught me and showed me the importance of building that foundation so that you have something solid to build on. Speaking of cleaning my apartment every morning, the second thing on my list is to treat my home like a sanctuary or a safe place. I like to have everything organized. I am only bringing in things that make me feel good. I'm really putting a more effort into sourcing or where I source things from, and I'm not inviting just anyone into my safe space. I don't even like the news to be on or to have an argument in my space because the energy in your home is so important. It's what you're completely surrounded by. So treating my home as if it were a sanctuary is something that I've learned is very, very important. Number 3, to spin off of that, to treat my body like a temple. I mean, I've always been really into fitness and health and wellness, but this year I really understood that saying that your body is a temple where your soul resides. And so I've really tried this year to treat my body that way. From the foods that I'm eating to the products that I'm putting onto my body or my hair to the things that I have in my house that I'm inhaling and ingesting. I am just this year so thankful for my body and my health, especially. I mean, when you see the effects that your environment can have on your body, you just start to treat it a little bit more respectfully. Number 4 is the importance of community. Having good neighbors or having a community of like-minded people is so important. I don't think that I've found my full community here in Hawaii, but I think that I'm building that, and that's what I'm doing with my channel, is I'm calling in my tribe. And I think that a year of solitude has really shown me the importance of surrounding yourself with people who you vibe with. Number 5 is I learned how to bake, specifically breads. I've never been a really good baker, but this year I've been really exploring in the kitchen, trying out some vegan, vegetarian, healthier options when it comes to baking, and I actually really enjoy it. Number 6 is a big one, and it is to trust myself. I've always been a very confident person, but I used to second guess myself a lot. And this year, I am really tuning in, and this can be a whole separate video, but I'm tuning into my higher self. I'm really tuning into my guides. I've met 3 of them, I've communicated with them. And so I'm really starting to trust in the messages that I'm receiving and to just go with it and to trust my intuition more. That's always my New Year's resolution, is to trust my intuition and allow it to guide me. But this year I really feel like I have awakened something, and I am just stepping into a more in touch version of myself. And I love that for me. Number 7 is to slow down. I'm sure this year has taught all of us that, just to be more intentional in what I'm doing or what I'm saying, and to be more present. I find that when you slow down, you can be more present. That is everything. Slow down my eating, slow down my driving, just slow down. Like, life is so good, soak it all in. Don't just fly through it. Oh man, that's something really big that I've learned this year. Number 8 is to have more compassion and understanding that everyone is dealing with their own shit. I think that the big movement of the Black Lives Matter and of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor really opened my eyes even more, like, to having the awareness that everyone's life is so different, everyone's struggle is so different. So to be more compassionate. Number 9 is that I've really started to understand the concept of everything is energy. Money is energy, time is energy, everything is energy, and really starting to be aware of that more and to view things from that level. Number 10 is to be more disciplined. Oh my gosh, this is something I feel like I needed to learn that. Oh my gosh. All through my teens and 20s, I had zero discipline when it came to like anything. Basically, I just did whatever I wanted to, which that's fine and all, but I feel like this year I've become more disciplined with specifically my finances, and discipline when it comes to my mental capacity, if that makes sense. Something else I'll get to in a minute, that's something else that I've learned, but this kind of ties into it, is that I've been disciplined in the sense of understanding what warrants a reaction. And that was a huge area of growth for me personally, because I used to be the person who would just fly off, say whatever I wanted. It didn't matter how it made somebody else feel. And I was kind of unaware of what I was just allowing out. And I think this year I've become much more disciplined. Number 11, and I touched on this earlier, but this is that not all people deserve my energy. Not all situations deserve my energy. I've learned how to say no more and to really respect my own energy, and I don't have to give it away. I don't owe anyone anything, and that's something that I've really stepped into this year. Number 12 is the importance of ancestral healing. I didn't know that we carry the same traumas that our ancestors experienced in our bodies, in our energetic bodies, in our DNA even. And so it's just so important to work on healing those traumas that aren't even yours. definitely look into that if you don't know what I'm talking about. And I think that what triggered this for me was the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and looking into that, and also relating that to my own Native American heritage. So I started reading books about my lineage and my people and what they went through. And so I really did some deep work there, through meditation and journaling, and just going deep and trying to heal and understand all of that and how important that is for future generations of Earth, of humans. So important. Number 13, the importance of journaling. I really started journaling this year every morning. It really started when I found the book The Artist's Way, and that is what kind of catapulted my growth. So I really stuck with doing my morning pages even after I finished the 12-week modules in the books, because I think that it's a really good way to brain dump, to organize my thoughts, and at the end of, if I'm going through something, it's really nice to look back to see how far I've come. And also sometimes I'll read my journal and I'm blown away from the wisdom that I have. Somehow, I don't know if I've channeled it or if it's just from past lives, but just the wisdom that comes out onto the paper is, sometimes it's a lot. And so it's nice to have my thoughts in front of me, and there's something about physically writing out what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and it's almost like an instantaneous understanding of what we think we create. And so I've just found journaling to be really helpful, really insightful, and just the importance of it is something that I've learned this year. Number 14, I've learned that my favorite foods are Italian foods, anything Italian I love, and also Thai food. I never really, when someone asks me, oh, what's your favorite food? I never really had an answer because I loved all foods, I suppose. But this year I've learned from my Italy trip that I love Italian food, and my favorite pizza is anchovies and capers with red sauce. So learned that about myself. 15, I've learned how to film, edit, and upload videos. I've learned to navigate the entire back end of YouTube and to start building this. I've learned that no one really has it figured out. No one knows exactly. Everyone is just sort of winging it, just going with it. Nobody has anything figured out. And I think that to a certain level, everyone experiences imposter syndrome, no matter what they're doing. So in those times that I don't feel adequate, I have learned to understand that nobody feels adequate 100% of the time. We're all just doing our best and listening to our intuition and taking in the next step. Number 17, I learned how to make pasta from scratch. My boyfriend and I, we took a cooking class in Italy while we were there, and we learned how to make gnocchi, and we learned how to make pasta noodles from scratch. I haven't tried it since we've been back, but I know how to do it. Number 18, this is kind of a spinoff of the one that I said earlier about being more compassionate. Also to be more understanding that everybody is experiencing life from their own perspectives and their own unique realities, and to just understand that no one's gonna see things the way that I see them and the way that I am viewing them, even if we're looking at the same thing. So just to be understanding that everyone's an individual. Nobody has to agree with you. This is a good one. Number 19, I really have learned how to forgive. I have learned how to forgive myself. I have learned how to forgive other people in my life on a deep, deep soul level. I have learned how to let go of all of the, not just anger, just all the emotions. I've just learned how to release that. And I've also learned how to energetically cut cords with people and to close chapters that no longer serve me or my highest good. Number 20 is also a big one. I have learned that how you react to anything is so important and so telling of where you are energetically and where you are and how you can control your own energy. Like I said earlier, not everything warrants a reaction, and what you react to and how you react to it. You can step back and you can observe how you're reacting to something, then you can see the energetics behind of it. I don't know if that makes sense. How can I explain this? When you're reacting to something, you're giving away your energy. And most oftentimes, our reactions are almost like a knee-jerk response to something. But when you can stop before you react and you can think from this level of like a middle space almost, then you are in control of your energy. You are in control of your emotions, energy and motions. And that is the key to everything. That is the key to evolving. That is the key to ascended masters, almost like you're ascending when you can stop being yourself to create the self and reaction that you want to be. I hope that makes sense. And number 21, I have learned the importance of being a smart consumer. How the things that I am buying and the places that I choose to buy from can directly affect another person. And so I've learned the importance of shopping small. I have learned the importance of shopping local, especially during this crazy time in the world. I have learned that I can directly affect my sisters by shopping from their brands instead of shopping from Amazon, for example. So that's a really big one, and that I have the power. We have the power as consumers to change everything. And so I think it's our responsibility to do that. Those are the 21 things, among many other small things that I just couldn't think of, that I learned during this decade of a year. I feel like time feels like it flew by, but it also felt so long at the same time. I don't know how that's possible. I am excited to see what this new year is going to bring. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope for you all of the love, abundance, and goodness that you deserve. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you all next Friday. Until then, peace.